everyone, and welcome. We are diving right into the second day of Navratri to explore the incredible power of Maa Brahmacharini, the goddess who is the absolute embodiment of sheer, unshakable focus.
But before we get into it, let me ask you something. Have you ever set a goal for yourself that just felt massive? You know, so big and so far away that it seemed almost impossible to pull off. A goal that you knew would take every single ounce of your dedication? Just hold that thought, because it's the key to understanding everything we're about to talk about. Because on this second day of Navratri, we honor precisely that energy. We honor Maa Brahmacharini, the ultimate symbol of commitment and the raw, unyielding power of perseverance. She is the energy that takes those impossible goals and makes them real.
Okay, let's get into it. For day 2, the focus is all on Brahmacharini. And her story, her whole essence, is really built on 3 core pillars. This unwavering devotion, an incredible, almost unbelievable discipline, and a spiritual determination that could literally move mountains.
So, you might be wondering, how did she get this reputation? Well, it all goes back to her story, which is basically this epic quest of love, willpower, and a vow that spanned thousands of years. This is the story of Parvati's ultimate test of will. So, here's the setup. In her form as Parvati, the daughter of the Himalayas, she decides she wants to marry Lord Shiva. The only problem? Shiva is the great ascetic, deep in meditation, and not exactly easy to win over. So Parvati begins one of the most intense, most difficult, and longest penances you'll find anywhere in mythology. And what's just mind-blowing is how her commitment just keeps escalating. This wasn't some short-term thing. She started with a huge goal, thousands of years of meditation. To do this, she first lived on just fruits and roots. Then, as her resolve got even stronger, she gave that up and survived only on leaves that had fallen from the trees. And then, and this is the ultimate test of will, she gave up even that. No food, no water. Her focus on Shiva was so absolute that her body's own needs just fell away. It's just an incredible display of willpower.
And all of that perfectly explains the meaning of her name. Let's break it down real quick. Brahma refers to this idea of spiritual truth, and Charini means someone who walks or follows a path. So Brahmacharini literally means the one who walks the path of devotion and penance. Her name is her story. It's that simple. So after that unbelievable journey, what does she look like? Let's take a look at her iconography, because every single part of her appearance tells a piece of this story. Seriously, nothing you see is there by accident.
Okay, look here. In her right hand, she's holding a jat mala, or a rosary. That's the universal symbol for constant meditation and devotion. Then, in her left hand, you see a kamandalu, a water pot, which represents the total purity and self-reliance she achieved. The fact that she's walking barefoot? That points to her simplicity and her deep connection to the earth. And her face? That calm, radiant look? That's not just a feature. That's the result. That's the glow of someone who has achieved something immense on a spiritual level.
But okay, beyond the amazing story and all the symbols, what's the real lesson here for us? Let's talk about the spiritual significance, the true power behind all that discipline.
Here's the core of it all. Brahmacharini's story is basically a timeless guide for inner discipline. She teaches us that real achievement comes from consistency, not from looking for shortcuts. She is the embodiment of self-control and the importance of keeping the faith, especially when things get really hard. Worshipping her is all about strengthening our own willpower and finding that mental stability she mastered.
You know, this quote just sums it up perfectly. Her story symbolizes ultimate patience and commitment. It doesn't matter if your goal takes a day, a year, or a decade. Her energy is that constant reminder that an unwavering focus will get you across the finish line.
Okay, so let's bring this into the 21st century. How do we take this ancient wisdom and actually apply it to our lives today? I mean, how does the energy of a goddess who meditated for thousands of years help you with your career goals or your study plan?
Well, people turn to her for really practical things. They're seeking the mental strength to just push through obstacles. They're looking for that intense focus you need for your studies or to advance in your career. And they want the emotional balance to not get thrown off course by setbacks. At the end of the day, they're seeking success that's earned through pure, honest, steadfast perseverance.
And it's so fitting that the color for her day is orange. Think about it. It's not a passive color. It symbolizes that vibrant energy, that enthusiasm, and that bright positivity you absolutely need to take on a massive goal and see it all the way through.
And for anyone who wants to really connect with this energy, there is a specific mantra, Om Devi Brahmacharini Namah. Chanting this is seen as a way to call on her qualities of focused devotion and that unbreakable discipline inside of yourself.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Let's go back to that impossible goal we talked about at the very beginning. What is the one objective, the one thing in your life right now that could use a dose of that unwavering, thousand-year focus of Maa Brahmacharini?